Hi, this is Hook. Welcome to Story Art. We will be continuing our story. I hope you listen and enjoy the story. The still air started to swirl, and out of the atmosphere came a small light. Vaughn approached the light and asked, "How do we get to the eastern cave?" The light started to flicker and said in a calm, low voice, "East of the stone door, just follow me." "Okay, let's head out there before more of the evil attacks the town." Dewitt eagerly stood up and went to the front door, and Vaughn followed behind him. Out they went to the eastern cave with their small guiding light. Vaughn knew it was a long travel to the eastern cave, but he was worried that they would face evil that they would not understand how to defeat. If luck is on their side, they would have no serious threats ahead of them. Now they were halfway there by midday, when the sun was right above them. Now they were on the rocky mountainside. The path was rough and rigid. No one has ever traveled a harsher path in Starfire Woods. As they walked on for a while, Dewitt noticed movement and said, "Look there, Vaughn, that boulder is shaking." As the earth shook the stone, many small insects and bugs ran for safety. The shaking was short-lived. Dewitt spoke in calm voice, "See, it was only a small earthquake." "You're right, I'm just losing my mind," said Vaughn, thinking that they would be crushed by some large boulder rolling down the mountainside. So they continued walking until they could see a large opening, and the road came to an end. They saw great pillars and a large stone door. "I wonder who built this place," Vaughn said in a confused tone. "It was built by a great ancient," Dewitt explained. "Back then they would use crystals to pull or push on things." Dewitt knew that these crystals were the key to everything. "Look there," the guiding light. Dewitt pointed at the guide hovering over two rune stones facing east. The stones started to glow as they slowly moved closer. Sparks of light sprang out from the stone, and in a flash of light, two warriors appeared. Both had no face, their armor rusted, but still had some of its old shine from the years of care they gave it. Dewitt hissed and sprang forward to the closest warrior, crushing his torso with his long claws, causing the demonic warrior to vaporize. Vaughn drew his sword and narrowed the tip toward the second dead warrior. He was overcome by the strategic sway of the old swordsman. With one thrust of his wrist, he managed to disarm Vaughn's sword that fell to the ground. The old swordsman walked forward and picked up the sword to raise it against the two warriors. As he raised the sword to swing, it made a loud noise of defiance, and a sparkle of light flowed down to his body and imploded him to pieces. "That was almost too close," Vaughn said, scared out of his mind. "Have faith, we will never fail." Dewitt spoke with fierceness in his voice, knowing, unless they hold firm, they would never know the end of it. The both of them started east again, expecting they would face greater evil. Their guide showed them many secret passageways through the eastern road, so they found themselves facing many demonic forces along the way to the eastern cave. Vaughn learned to sway to avoid injury, and mastered a stronger swing. They came to an opening to a cave, and the guide said, "This is the entrance." As they walked onward, light peered down through the cracks of walls, allowing them to see. They could see that at the very end of the small cave was a stand, and the crystal was sitting on top. They approached slowly, ready for anything that may appear. They reached the stand, and noticed it was made of stone. It was carved with unique engraves, and looked very elegant. Vaughn put his hand out to pick up the crystal, and suddenly a flash of light covered them, causing them to go blind. As they staggered about trying to find their way back out the cave, the sword spoke to Vaughn, "Have faith and swing." Immediately, Vaughn unsheathed his sword and swung at the crystal. The sound rang throughout the cave, shattering it, and the hold on their vision vanished. They both gathered their strength and rose to their feet. As they made their way out of the cave, they heard the giant door cracking open from across the fields and plains. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next part of our story.